In this lesson I'm going to show you some high energy repeating rock licks which you can use to give your rock soloing a real kick in the pants. So stay tuned. Hey there, this is James for James Shipway Guitar and welcome to my video on repeating rock licks. Now if you want the tab and lesson notes to this video, you can get it by clicking on the link underneath this video. It's part of my rock guitar lick bundle which has got all the tab and lesson notes to this lesson as well as a whole load of my other rock guitar lessons on YouTube. So click the link underneath and get a copy of that bundle there. So in this video I'm going to show you some repeating licks which you can use to really add some energy to your rock solos, give them a real kick in the pants. Now we're going to be playing in the key of D minor and we're going to be using this scale shape, D minor pentatonic at the 10th fret, and also the blues scale version of that pattern which looks like this. So armed with that scale shape, let's dive in and look at our first repeating rock lick. Okay, let's check that lick out. So what we're doing here, we're bending the B string at the 13th fret. I'm using my third finger to do that and I'm bending it up 2 frets. I'm then playing the top E at the 10th fret, and then I'm picking the B string and I'm pulling off back to 10. So I get this. A couple of little technical details there. You'll notice I'm killing off the bend with my right hand here before I move to this next note. This stops me getting this kind of thing, where I get the noise from the releasing string and I also actually hear the bend being let back down. Now we don't want that, we want it to sound really clear and punchy. So this little muting trick will help you do that. So I'm just deadening off that B string before I go to this top E at the 10th fret there. Then you basically play that little fragment round 3 times like this. And we're going to end it off by grabbing the G string at the 12th fret and bending it up 2 frets. Now the picking for that, I'm kind of picking the bend with an up pick, I'm picking the top E with a down pick, then I'm picking the B string with another up pick and then pulling off. So up, down, up. I think that's the most efficient and easiest way to get used to picking that lick, which will help you get up to speed, get it sounding really cool. So try and use that picking when you play this lick. So lick 2 is the kind of lick you hear pretty much everyone play, but it's especially common in the playing of Michael Schenker. He plays this a lot. And what we're doing is we're grabbing the 12th fret on the G string and we're going to bend it up 2 frets. Then I'm going to play the B string at the 10th fret and the top E at the 10th fret. Now again, just like in the previous lick, I'm choking off that G string here before I go to the B string. So my right hand is just gently falling down on that string. Then I'm playing the B string at the 10th fret and the top E at the 10th fret. Now we go. We're going to play it 5 times, just repeating it around like that. and then we spend a tiny bit longer on the final note, and that completes 2 bars, and then we can loop it around again. So we get this: 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're playing it 5 times round, and that will basically fill 2 bars of music, so we can just slot it into our solo like that. Now you can kind of experiment with all sorts of different rhythms with this lick, this kind of thing. There's a lot of variations you'll hear people play with this one, but that's the example we're going to look at. Now picking wise for that, I actually alternate pick that. There's other ways you could do it, but I go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and I find that that kind of works for me. Okay, now with this first finger notes here, we want to kind of roll it to separate out those 2 notes so we don't get them ringing together. So your first finger has to just kind of shift from the B string onto the top E string, and as it does that, it will mute off the B string, so we get nice clear notes on the top there. So that's lick 2. Let's take a look at how to play lick 3. It's the kind of thing you hear Zakk Wylde use quite a lot in his playing, as well as lots of other great players. Let's check out how we play that one. Now we're going to start on the 10th fret on the top E string. We're going to pick the B string and pull off to 10 on the B string. And then we're going to play the 12th fret on the G string. Now I'm using my 2nd finger for the G string note. You could use your 3rd, but I like to use my 2nd. So I experiment with a few different approaches. See what you prefer. So we've got this so far. Now we're going to play that 4 times like this. Picking for that, I'm picking down, up, pull off, up. Down, up, pull off, up. Now the second half of the lick is exactly the same, except instead of playing 12 on the G string, we're going to play 13 on the G string, so we get this. Now you notice I'm using my 3rd finger for this. Again, you could use your 2nd if you preferred, but I quite like to use my 3rd. So I'm going to go 1st, 3rd, pulling off to 1st, 3rd. So that's just adding in this blues scale note, which we saw on the G string at 13. This gives the lick a slightly sort of darker, more edgy sound. Let me play that one around again for you, putting both parts together. And we do 4 on each. Okay, so now when you want to get that really quick, like you heard me do in the intro, okay, there's a little trick you can do here. It takes a bit of practice and it can be a bit tricky to get it really clean, but what we can do is actually pick the first note, hammer onto the B string, pull off, and hammer onto the G string with my 2nd finger. So I'm only picking the first note. Let's have a look at that really slowly. This is a slightly more advanced way of playing this lick, but it can work really well if you want to get it really quick. Then we do the same thing with the blues scale variation. We're going to pick here, hammer, pull off, hammer. So if we speed that up, we can get this kind of thing happening. And it just can be slightly easier to get it quicker. Now, your right hand has to work quite hard here to get the notes really clean and punchy and to eliminate noise, and it's quite tough to do that. But that's a little trick that you can use to also experiment with this lick when you want to really give it that kind of warp speed factor and really get it fast. Right, let's take a look at how we're going to play lick 4. Now this one's using sextuplets, groups of 6 squashed into the beat, and it's using the D blues scale. And what we're doing here is I'm playing 10 on the B string, I'm picking the G string at 13, and I'm pulling off 13, 12, 10, and then I'm hammering on 12 to 13. Like that. I'm picking down then up on that one. That's the first part of that lick. Then I'm going to pick the B string at the 10th fret, hammer onto 13 and pull it off. Then I'm going to play 13 on the G string, pull off to 12 and hammer back onto 13. Now I'm using my first 3 fingers for this lick. Sometimes I'd use my first, my third and my little, but this is the way I'm going to play it now. So here it is again. So if we speed that up a little bit, we get this nice sort of tripletty sound. Now one of the problems with this lick can be the finger independence between your second and your third finger. These 2 fingers might want to kind of stick together a little bit and might be quite tough to separate them out, but this is a great way to practice this, and you'll develop that kind of strength and independence between these fingers, and it will make this kind of playing this kind of lick a lot easier. Okay, let's just check that out one more time slow. Now you'll notice it's a little extra thin. My right hand's muting these low strings here. A lot of the time I hear people play these sorts of licks and they're here. You can hear these strings making noise, so we've got to keep our right hand, sort of this fleshy part of our hand, on there to keep them quiet. And that really goes for pretty much all the time when you're playing anything, especially things with distortion. A really useful tip there. So if you're not too hot at doing that, that's something you should try and improve, because it will make a big difference to the overall sound of everything you play on your guitar. Okay, lick 5 is using the blues scale shape, but we're just extending it slightly. So let's break that lick down and you'll see how we're doing that. So we're playing 10 on the top E, hammering onto 13, pulling off to 10. Then playing the B string at 13. And we're doing that twice. Then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to stretch up to 15 on the top E. So this is a handy little note which you can add into your pentatonic or blues scale pattern here, just to get up a little bit higher. So we just get this wider gap between these 2 notes. Instead of this, we get this. Just a simple way of varying this lick. Now experiment with using this device to change other licks that you know, because you could be surprised at how many different ideas you can come up with. Anyway, let's go back to this one. So what we're doing there is the first part of it. Then we're going to go 10, 15, 10 on the top E, and 13 on the B string, and we're going to do that twice. So far we've got this. Oops, I'll try that one again. We're going. Now the next part of the lick, we're going to add in the little blues scale note. We're going to go 10, 13, 10 on the B string, it's hammering on and then pulling off. Then I'm going to play 13 on the G string. Do that one twice. Then on that B string we're going to reach up to 15 on the B string and do the same idea. So I'm actually using my little finger for that stretch there. So we've got this. So let me join those 2 parts of the lick together now so you can hear the whole thing. So how are you going to practice these licks? Well, I'm a real believer in use it or lose it, and I've found that a lot with my own playing. I've learned a lot of stuff that I haven't then practiced using, and I've just completely forgotten it. So what I would recommend you do now is take these licks, find a nice slow backing track that you're really comfortable with, and just practice looping them around slowly over that track, getting them in time, getting the notes in all the right order and this kind of thing. And then gradually you can up the tempo from there. But the point is, if you're practicing using these, you're just going to soak them up and they're going to become a part of your playing rather than being something that you once learned and then forgot and never really use. Now, if you're a rock or a metal player, you're probably going to want to get these up to a reasonably good speed. So for that, you might want to check out my video lesson on how to speed up your guitar playing. It's one of the earlier videos I did, and it shows you a method you can use with a metronome to really sort of boost your speed of your licks. So that's about it for today. Now, don't forget to get your rock guitar lick bundle, totally free, and you can get it by clicking the link underneath this video. It's got the tab and lesson notes to this video and a whole bunch of my other rock guitar videos on my YouTube channel. So click the link below and get your copy of your rock guitar lick bundle now. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you found it good. Take care, and I'll see you again in another one of my videos very soon. So bye for now.